everybody, Pat Huntoon here with Technique Junkies, and today we're going to be making that pretty little love you card that you saw at the beginning of the video. You saw some that are multicolored, but we're going to be making this simple colored one in purples and oranges and red. So what we're using today is S995 Open Heart, which is one of the new Technique Junkies stamps from the January 2023 release. We're going to be using SDX 227 Little Love You, and we're going to be using some watercolor paper, and I will put the dimensions of the paper up as I use them, but regular watercolor paper, a piece of black paper, and a background. This is an unconventional card size. It's 4.5 by 4 3/4, just so you know. And then to color, we're going to be using some Catherine Pooler inks. We're going to be using the new Luxe collection, which just came out in minis. I love these colors. I just think they're so rich and so beautiful. And we're going to be using Catherine Pooler Midnight ink. Now, if you've watched my channel before, you know that I also use the Catherine Pooler Midnight ink with alcohol markers, but you can watercolor with this too. It's stable for watercoloring. So it's one of the best black inks I've ever owned. So what we are going to do first is stamp the Open Heart onto a piece of watercolor paper that is 4 by 4 1/4. And when I stamp it, I'm pretty much even stamping in the same orientation that the package shows. So I'm going to stamp that in black. Okay, so that's been stamped. And then I'm going to take this little Love You, and I'm going to stamp it in there. Okay, so that Love You stamp was stamped in black Catherine Pooler ink like the other things were. I'm going to move everything to the side right now. And I didn't mention this. We're going to be using the Aqua Shimmer Glitter Gloss pen. And I'm going to be actually using this like it's a water brush. Rather than adding water to the inks, we're using this because this is going to add some glitter, so shimmer. So if you see the shimmer in there, and that's nice stay put shimmer, it's not going anywhere on there. That's very shimmery, and that comes from this. And we do that as we're applying the ink, so we're using it like a paintbrush. So let me just get myself in order here. So we're using these 3 colors. So we're using Glam, Flame, and Cranberry Fizz. And what I like to do is take a little bit of them, put it out, just do one little press there on my work surface, and I actually keep the color above the ink spot because it's hard to see the color on the black here. I guess I could do it on the white portion, but it's hard to see it on the black exactly which color. And this way I'm more certain about what I'm using each time. And then I'm going to use the purple ink. Okay, so I don't know if you just heard me make that little yelp, but I made a little yelp because I dropped the purple ink on my paper. So it happens to all of us. I just want to tell you that. I'm going to restamp it and come right back to you. Okay, so I have my restamped piece. Let's put that back into position there. And I am going to be using the Nuvo Glitter Gloss pen as my watercolor brush. So what I'm doing is I'm actually dropping some of the color, some of the gloss into each of these piles. Okay, so you see how I did that? So now I'm adding a shimmering color to each of these. Okay, so I am going to start just by using my glitter gloss pen, and I am just going to pick up some of the color, and I'm just going to paint. So I am going to paint in this watercolor. I think I'll do half of this heart, and then I might pick up a little purple, do half of that heart. Now, you don't need a whole lot of liquid on this, so I probably won't squeeze this pen again. You use very little ink. If I want a darker color, I can go over it again. Okay, and then I'm just going to do some of the hearts. So I am going to color this. You see that? You see how it's shimmery? There's a lot of little hearts on here, so I'll be filling the little hearts in as I fill the big hearts in. I'm going to do this without the sound on, and I'm going to speed it up for you so that you don't have to watch me color this in real time. I think you kind of have the idea of what I'm doing here. and I will come back when it is all done. Okay, so now I have every single heart colored on here. It's so fast and so easy and so pretty, and I have plenty of ink here to continue to color things should I choose to do that. And that was just one little blob on each of them. So it is so pretty with just the reds and pinks and orange, but it's also pretty with all the other colors too. So let's finish this card off. So before I finish the card, I just want to show you that to clean your water brush, your shimmer brush, first of all, you just kind of wipe off the low-hanging fruit there, the ink that's right on the end, and then just squeeze just a little bit out until it runs clear, until it's clear. So even though it's stained a little pink, it's still cleaned off, and it's ready to be used again. So let me wipe down, and we'll put the card together. Okay, so I simply back this with a black piece of paper that was 4 1/8 by 4 3/8. If you are not comfortable with eighths, you can also make your black paper a little bit bigger, or make your watercolor paper an eighth bigger also. Okay, so you can see with some of these that I popped them. I used some pop-ups and I popped them, and some I did not. This one I just made. And so that's our tutorial today. As you can see, I really like making these cards. They're quick and they're easy and they're colorful and they're just really nice. The little love you fits right into that open heart, and they make a pretty little Valentine's Day card. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. If you did, please give me a thumbs up on YouTube and consider subscribing to the Technique Junkies channel. Thanks for watching today. I'll see you next time. Bye now.